Charleston County Roadwise Program, also known as the Transportation Sales Tax Program, because that's what pays for our roads and highways and bridges and pavements and all those wonderful things that we're doing. Since 2004, we've been raising those dollars up to $1.3 billion when it's all over, hopefully in the next 25 years or so. And we want you to know where your tax dollars are going, so we bring you programs like this. Today it's going to be a very interesting program, I think, because we're not just laying pavement, we're trying to maintain that pavement. Remember, those were questions that we raised a long time ago. How are we going to pay for the maintenance? We build these roads and highways, but how do you keep them going? How do you keep them in good shape? Well, we're talking to a very innovative group of people today. One you already know. He is a project manager, and he has been working with TST, the Transportation Sales Tax Program, for a number of years now. He comes to us from the Department of Transportation. We're going to be talking with Richard about what he is doing, and then a company that's in our community right now who specializes in technology that has to do with the improvement of roads that are already in existence. We'll talk about that and more as soon as we return. Don't go away.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to our program. As promised, we're going to be talking about technology and how that's going to be working in our community. The fact that we lay down miles and miles and miles of roads that are paved, but how do you maintain those roads? Well, we found a company not too far from us. I believe it was in Cleveland, and I didn't find it, but Richard Turner did, and he is project manager on a number of our projects, but this time he is pavement manager. You've met him before. He's with the Transportation Sales Tax Program, and he has with him John Schlegel, and he is operations manager for Pavement Technology Incorporated. And we're going to find out what that means. But let's get a feel and an idea as to what it is they're doing on this road here in North Charleston in Charleston County. Richard, it's always good to have you on our program. You give us such exciting and new things to talk about. I saw some pink dust go down on one side of this road not too long ago. What was that, and what is it supposed to do in the way of maintaining what we've already laid down in the way of pavement?
Well, what we're doing today is new to Charleston. It's not new to the pavement industry, but it is new to Charleston and probably new to South Carolina. It's the product called Reclamite, and what it is an asphalt rejuvenator. And the pink spray that you see on the ground is a colorant that's put into the material just so we can see where it's being sprayed. But what this asphalt rejuvenator does is it penetrates into the asphalt, and it chemically changes that liquid asphalt that's existing in that road. It brings it back or rejuvenates it to similar to what it was and when it was originally placed.
Suppose we didn't have that. Suppose we didn't have this material that's come about through technology, and we're going to get a lot of answers from you on that. But suppose we didn't have that. What would happen to this road over time? Once it's been laid, the pavement's been laid, what would happen?
Well, typically, like I said, we've never done this before in Charleston, but what you typically see and what we've done and what many municipalities and counties have done historically has been you wait till the road basically falls apart, and you fix your worst roads first. So we're moving more into a proactive instead of reactive maintenance, preventative maintenance, pavement preservation, trying to keep our good roads good. So the idea here is we treat this road fairly soon after it's been resurfaced, and we can maintain it in a good condition.
Now, this road has been recently resurfaced, you said, and I don't know how recent it was, but do you have to get this done within a certain amount of time after that pavement's been laid?
Yes, we resurfaced this road in 2010, so here we are 3 years later, and we're treating this road. We want to keep it, we want to maintain this road in a good condition. If we don't do these type of preventative maintenance treatments, what you'll end up seeing is what we've seen for years and years, is the road will start to, the fine material, the fine aggregate that's on the surface, it will start to ravel away, and you'll end up with a lot more road noise, a rougher texture on your road. Then you'll start to see some more cracking. That's the big thing. An asphalt roadway is inevitably going to crack. When a road becomes the sun, we're fighting the sun, we're fighting water. If we can keep those two things out, we're getting ahead of the game. So if we don't, like I said, if we don't do this type of treatments, what we'll end up with is a weathered road that will eventually begin cracking. And cracking, if they go untreated, they'll lead to potholes and structural damage underneath. So it's, the idea is we treat them now and we keep them in a good condition, keep the water and keep the sun out, and we can maintain them much longer. We can extend the life of this road by this type of treatment.
John, we've always been worried about maintaining our roads. We're laying a lot of roads and bridges in our county thanks to the transportation half-cent sales tax. No other way could we have done it, I don't think so, at least not right now. But here you come along with the very thing that some of us were concerned about, and that is, how do you maintain these roads? You talk about technology. What kind of technology goes into providing the kind of dust, or the kind of materials, I should say, that have been laid on this road that are going to sustain them for a while? What kind of technology is there?
Well, we've been involved in pavement preservation since 1972, so for more than 40 years, we brought this product and other products to the forefront of different agencies to have them help them maintain their roadways. And the technology we're using here is just like Richard explained. This is a chemical treatment of the asphalt road to reconstitute the binder that's in the top quarter-inch of that pavement to help seal it against the oxidation and the sun and the raveling, the raining, and just the elements that it's exposed to. Over time, asphalt roads, they all deteriorate in the same manner. They oxidize, they ravel, they lose their stones, they lose their fines. And what this material does is it actually absorbs into the pavement, help reconstitute that asphalt cement, help it last a lot longer, and maintain the fines and the gravel that's in the roadway.
Tell me about the layers of material that are on this road right now. It's obvious that we have laid pavement already, so there's the asphalt there. So what's on top of that, and then what's going to be on top of that, and then how often are we going to have to do the final part of it, which is the laying of the technological kind of material?
Well, our process is that once a roadway is put down, and the sooner you can get to it, the better. So within 3 years is a good time to treat those roadways. And we first put down the application product of the Reclamite, and that's what the product is called, the Reclamite Rejuvenating Agent. Again, that's been around since the 50s. It's not a new product, but it's a more used technology today. And then after the pavement absorbs the Reclamite, as you see in the far lane there, the pavement starts to absorb the Reclamite. Then after that, we put down a light coating of sand over the surface of it, and then after that, we sweep it up the next day.
Are you still doing research on this kind of technology?
The research has been done over all the many years that it's been used. We do the research to make sure that we're current with the new specifications, the new different types of asphalts that are coming out, and make sure that the product is being used and performing properly on different jobs.
Richard, what made us decide here in Charleston County with the transportation sales tax program that we ought to take a look at this and see if it works for us, and then your answer on that? Has it?
Well, in kind of a history, I guess, when we started with pavement management in Charleston County in '94, and we were very reactive, and we have been historically since then, but it was worst first. We fixed the worst road at the most extreme cost it could be. You basically wait till the road deteriorates, and then you decide to fix it. So with that, our budget hasn't gotten any larger, but our expenses have continued to get higher and higher every year. The liquid asphalt index continues to rise. I mean, it's similar to what you see with oil prices and gas prices. We've all seen the flux of the price of fuel. So it's similar to that, but we're paying a much higher price today than we did years ago. So that's kind of driven the need for stretching our dollars. So this is one way we see as a life cycle cost reduction, is we can start treating our roads. One, like I said, we get the benefit of the reduced life cycle cost. Two, I think we're going to lead to a higher level of customer service for our citizens, because we'll be able to keep our good roads good instead of letting them deteriorate for 20 years, 30 years, whatever the time frame is that it's going to take for us to return based on the current prices. So we're able to treat them sooner, and our citizens will see more treatments. Hopefully they will feel they were getting a better level of service and feel more comfortable with the direction we're going.
When we come back from the break, I'm going to be talking with these gentlemen about just how this is done. There's several steps involved here, but what I want to know is how long will it last? We'll find out as soon as we return. We'll be right back.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to our program on pavement, and better still, it's technology. I like to think of it as technology that is now involved in making sure that Charleston County and other communities across the country are able to maintain the asphalt that they lay. That's very important. I've heard the stories about years ago and how we had to find out if a road was in trouble and it needed repaving and all of that kind of thing. Well, right now, we've got a system through technology that's doing all of that work for us, and it's exciting as it can be. We saw them laying, they meaning the workers, were laying some pink dust here, and I'm going to go back to that. I'm sorry, that's the only name I can think of. But they were laying that, and then they're going to lay something else. What are all the what's the process like? And then what kinds of things are laid over what? And tell me how those things help to maintain that road, that asphalt in the road that's been laid for a period of time, so that we taxpayers don't have to worry about paying more money to make sure the road is maintained properly.
Well, what you see today, like I said, is Reclamite is the name of the product. It's being put down by Pavement Technology Incorporated. And it's sprayed down. It's a liquid emulsion that's being sprayed down. And it is pink, and the pink is just a colorant that's added to it. And it would be clear if they didn't add the colorant, and you wouldn't be able to see exactly where it was sprayed. So that's why you see the pink color. So the process is that we clean the road, we sweep the road, and then the next step would be to spray it with the Reclamite, and then we let that absorb into the roadway, and then once it's absorbed a substantial amount, they follow that up with the sanding of the road. And what that does is it blots up any excess material that would be on the surface, and then allows that to, like I said, absorb the excess material. And then the following day we'll come back, or later today they'll come back behind it and they'll sweep all the sand up. So what you'll be left with is a slightly darker road than you had the day before.
What is Reclamite?
Reclamite is a maltine-based pavement rejuvenator that actually combines with the asphalt cements in the pavement and changes the chemical properties of that asphalt cement, giving it a higher penetration number, lower viscosity number, and chemically combines with that asphalt cement.
After that has been laid, what sort of life does it have? How long will it be there, and how long will it be working or effective enough to do the job it's supposed to?
Well, like Richard said, they come back about 3 years later. The oxidation process, they see it beginning there. So the Reclamite will give you an additional 3 to 5 years of additional life on top of the pavement. And if you come back and you repeat that process, you'll add another 3 to 5 years to the end of that life of that pavement.
Richard, you know that we've laid a lot of pavement, a lot of asphalt, a lot because of our transportation sales tax program. And I think we've done very well. Are we able to say to the public right now that with this approach, that in fact they can count on the maintenance of this road being less and fewer dollars being spent as a consequence?
Well, that's certainly the goal, and that's the reason we're really pushing into the pavement preservation industry of how can we preserve our roads and reduce our cost, reduce our life cycle cost of a roadway. And this is one of the measures that we've investigated and we feel great with, and we're moving forward with. This is our first project of the asphalt rejuvenator. So this is one of the products. But like you said, the end goal is to reduce our cost per mile of maintaining our roads.
Are there other counties and cities in South Carolina that are doing the same thing?
There are other counties and cities that are beginning to look at pavement preservation type treatments. I think that Charleston County is the first place in South Carolina that has actually utilized the asphalt rejuvenator on the roadway.
I wonder why the others don't have it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why, but I really can't answer that. But
Well, you worked on a state basis. I figured you knew everybody's business.
Well, on the state level, I mean, they're looking at a statewide. They've got a lot more mileage and a lot more liability than we've got just in Charleston County. So it's a little easier for us to move forward. But we've been very fortunate that when we did our first test with pavement technology and the use of reclamite in Charleston, SCDOT partnered with us. We did the field work, and SCDOT did the lab testing. So they're aware of the product, and they are beginning to look at it for the same purpose that we are. We really want to use this in low volume, low speed roadways, mostly our residential streets. That we can really, we're really fighting just weathering, and this is the perfect one of the perfect treatments to treat that weathering. So it's a win-win.
You've come a long way to help us today and to show us how technology is doing the job of protecting the asphalt that we're laying, and we're getting more for our money as citizens of this community. Do you often travel to other places, and where?
Yeah, we travel to numerous different states. I think we're in 7 or 8 states right now that we travel to. We work from Florida all the way up to Cleveland and Ohio, Michigan. Yeah, so we do get around a little bit.
Where's home?
Home is back in Cleveland. Yeah, that's the corporate offices and where I'm from.
And what are you doing here today?
I'm just coming down here and taking a look at the operations, making sure that everything goes right. We have a testing on this job that we'll be doing, so I just want to make sure that testing's done in the proper places and we get everything set up properly.
Is all of this under warranty, I would suppose?
Warranty? No, not so much. I mean, because it's not a product that we're placing on like a surface, like a new asphalt that's being placed on the road. So we are treating our roads. We're treating it with an absorbent. I mean, one example you might could relate it to would be like, say, a water seal on your deck. I mean, you have that absorbent, that clear absorbent that absorbs into your deck, and you treat that to fight your weathering. It's the same principle here. So it's not necessarily they've handed us an item that they're going to warranty. They're treating the item that we already have to extend the life of it.
What is the lifetime of this? I wanted to ask you that.
Well, pavements, it really depends upon a lot of different factors. One being the weather, one being the amount of truck traffic or the traffic that's on the road, and the soil conditions that are under there. There's so many things out there, but typically we will see, we may get 20 years or 20 plus years.
Was that before or after the technology treatment?
Well, with this, the idea is that we'll begin to extend that life out further and further. If we can, the idea right now for Charles